Howdy, everybody. This is the Lego Masters Foxcast. Gosh, Lego Masters Foxcast chat doubleheader, episode 9, Wall, and episode 10, Living in a Brick House. Mighty, how that brick's going to hang out. And here we have some of our loyal cast members who could make it tonight, all the way from the East Coast to almost the Midwest and to the Mountain States. Mark, Steven, Maria, Philip, myself. And before we get started, I'm going to run a new reel that these guys have previewed because, you know, I need a little bit of coin to keep the StreamYard subscription going. So here we go. Just sit back and enjoy.
Looking for shirts, stickers, or instructions from one of your favorite LEGO Masters? Go to motomerchmart.com. Available in a variety of sizes, colors, and styles, you can deck yourself out with merchandise from the master with the most luscious looks of LEGO Masters Season 2. Whether you're harnessing your inner motivation or styling out your very own small art director, motomerchmart.com has everything you need to get you looking good for the summer. Visit motomerchmart.com today.
Okay, I want to know.
Link. That was fancy. I feel like that's too fancy for us or for me.
Classy.
You know, I didn't do anything. Brian Saviano, Bricks O'Brien.
He did
all of that completely end-to-end for me. He wanted to start up with an example for his portfolio. I'm like, you want to do an ad, man. And he killed it. Oh my goodness. So in the chat, Kittenville Brick, welcome. Carolyn C. Oh, Taro Paredes. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. And then Rick Mazekar.
That's me every day, Moto.
You every day, of course.
Yep.
And as always, we are going to be extremely heavily spoilering the latest episodes of the show, but that is why you're here, because we asked the questions that you want answered. And we are also live with Lego Masters Fox cast members, because there were questions of, can I get in the chat? Yeah, if you're on the show, sure. It's that simple. It's that easy. Make it to the network TV show and you can be in the chat or be on the panel. Sorry.
A lot of interviews, a lot of work, a lot of traveling. Yeah.
A lot of things.
A lot of building.
Oh, a lot of building.
Yeah. A lot of building.
A lot of makeup, a lot of hair styling.
Oh my goodness.
Trying on outfits.
So because I was at Brick Slopes, and Brick Slopes is this one strange animal with a end date of Saturday, I was packing out till I think I got out of the hall. I was the last one out. I got beat by someone, and yeah, it was like midnight 30, I think, and then I was up till 2 a.m. at the after party. So I'm glad I did do the stream. Man. Oh my goodness! Speaking of Brick Slopes, there's Susan.
Hey guys!
Wow, they're piling up. So I will start with the episode. Let's see, it's episode 9, correct? Where there's a big wall, and teams are forced to build one land animal and one sea animal independently, and then surprise, you have to combine them into some sort of mashed up hideous beast.
I love the
way
you
did it better myself.
Now it's Michelle.
I love the way you phrased that, saying that they were forced.
That's exactly how it felt. Because it's true.
And then you said hideous beast. I don't know. Some of them were
not hideous, but you know, it's not exactly you know, land and water doesn't exactly mix well. So I think if I was in that challenge, it would have been a mess.
Otter.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
All the amphibious creatures.
But that one is one where I saw, I'm like, okay, you know, that's doable. And then I thought more deeply about it. I'm like, this thing is actually really, really wicked if you think about the mechanics of doing it and taking it on with the sense of scale, the scale differences, the style differences between builds. Yeah, especially poor Mark.
5 hours.
I know.
5
hours, the time limit, of course.
Was it 5 hours to do the
both of them
character? And then
both of them.
That's 10 hours then, no problem.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
The landscape was the same size as the fan foundation, so it's huge, and it's like do something in there in 5 hours, and then match it up. It was like
Well, I'll start off with a good old
Sure.
spoiler question, semi-spoiler question. So, were there any Man, I'm on fire tonight for messing up. Were there any challenge rules that were not aired?
I don't think there were any specific ones in that episode that really didn't add anything to the challenge. It was pretty simple. Just land animal, sea animal, split up. Don't talk to your partner. I guess the one thing was when you go into the brick pit, you weren't like you couldn't go in when there was your teammate was there. Pretty much, it's like they did not want us talking at all. If we were to start talking, they would split us up and be like, "You over there, you over there." So they didn't want any communication at all. So.
Was there a visual boundary, like a T, also at the end, so you couldn't see the tables when you had to turn around, or?
You could see a little bit when you walked by, but if you stopped and were looking intently at what your partner was
they were
doing,
watching really closely.
Yeah, they bum rush you and tackle you off screen. Yeah.
If you're holding the Legos, they went all over the floor. Yeah, exactly.
Do they have a person with a broom like chasing you off the stage? Like,
over again.
They swat you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though. You weren't allowed to communicate with your teammate, right? So I have a really short but funny story for that. So I was really like the giraffe I was making, right? Everything was going pretty smoothly. So I'm like, how do I tell Mark that I'm doing good so he doesn't have to worry about me over here? Because I know he probably is a little bit. So I'm like, just start whistling. So you saw me in the episode. I was whistling to myself a little bit, just as loud and as cheerful as I could, just to kind of tell Mark, everything's going fine. Because I only ever whistle when I'm happy. And Mark over there was just like, he must be doing fine.
Oh, this is where the sibling teams have an advantage over the strangers.
That's all I did. I promise. Yeah.
And all the other teams are like, they're whistling. What does it mean?
I just told him I'm doing okay. That's all I did. Just want to make sure.
I didn't necessarily know he was doing great. I was just like, why is he whistling? Is he not focused?
Oh no! He sent a message and it got munched.
Mark, I thought you picked up on that.
I was like, he can't be doing bad, but maybe he's just like, la-di-da, do whatever. Oh, well, we'll see.
No, I was working hard, I promise.
Yeah.
Man.
Michelle, same sort of like screaming or furious belting ensued, or just sweat panics, or how did it go for you guys?
Well, wow. For us, we didn't communicate. We didn't have anything, like a whistle or anything like that.
Sorry.
But like for both of us, we both started making different creatures, and then about halfway or 2 hours in, we both switched up. And I didn't know that she was doing that, and she didn't know that I was doing that.
Wow.
So.
Oh, they never mentioned that on the episode.
Well,
what did you start?
They mentioned it for now.
Okay, so
So I'll run the banner. Is there anything got cut that you wish made it to air?
So I was like, okay, so our critique from Betty Bricks was that she was blocky. So I was like, okay, I need to do something that's like not blocky. I've never sculpted an animal before. So I was like, oh, what's kind of like, not blocky? And I thought, oh, an armadillo. That's kind of cool. I'm from Texas. And then like I go get Brick and I was like, wait a minute, what color is an armadillo? Go to another color, and then I start working on it for a while, and then I'm like, it is not. I don't even remember what an armadillo looked like, and honestly, I couldn't remember what any animal looked like. I was like, what's an animal? What does a dog look like? I don't even know.
Do they even have eyes?
So and then we ended up on and then I had all the gray for the armadillo, and I was like, okay, well maybe I can do like a rat, which is hilarious because I never would have imagined I would have picked that animal ever, but. I was like, I already have the parts here. And because we couldn't just go into the brick pit whenever we wanted, I was like, okay, that makes the most sense to do something that's already the color that I have. So
I think that every season should have at least one rat build, because the Taker Waker came through. I think that was Sam and Jess. And now we've got our version of the of a rat coming through from your team.
Yeah.
Little adorable rats.
Tyler and Amy had a rat, right? And then changed hers to a raccoon. Which was really cute.
Or it was a cat, was it? It was one of those. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, Tyler and Amy had
either way, just like when you buy a Lego set, it seems like they always include a rat.
There's
in the Lego.
rat.
There's always a rat. City or castle or pirate set. So just saying, every season for you watching season 3 people. Just saying. Gotta be rat.
It was because of the shorter. We knew something was coming. We knew something.
Yeah, the minute you get a 5-hour build, you know that there's going to be a second half, but you just don't know what it is.
And that was. Do you have any guesses?
I was thinking it was going to be like you would have to build the other team would have to build the environment for your. I would have to build whatever water scene Mark was making. Mark would have to build whatever savannah something scene I was making. That's what I assumed it was going to be, but that wasn't funny
we'd
enough.
have to have our animals like together in an environment that encompassed both of them. I didn't think they would actually have to literally Frankenstein the animal and then build a unique environment. So
I didn't think that far ahead.
No, I guessed it, and the only reason was I was thinking to myself, what is the cruelest thing I could do to someone if I was a challenge coordinator? You guys are thinking the right way. It's like, what is the absolute cruelest thing you could do to a team? I was like, oh, they're going to mash these things together. They're going to ask for mutants.
You called it, Moto.
Season 3 of Australia, they did the same challenge, but it was after you guys would have filmed it, right?
Not sure.
I think so.
I think it aired after you guys would have filmed that episode.
Yeah.
Well,
because season 3 is the current season.
Yeah, season 3 in Australia it aired after the filming or the production of 2 in the US had run. So those we did not have any. We couldn't research those. Yeah. But that was one. That was one where I was like, oh god, they're gonna do a mutant mashup on this thing. And it's just gonna be, because when I was watching, I'm like, oh god, the scale differences. I was already feeling pretty bad for you two guys. I'm like, this is gonna be gnarly.
Oh, it was torture.
Yeah,
that was a hard one.
Any observations, Susan and Jen, from your side on this one?
I remember. This is just entertaining. I remember thinking, oh man, I don't know if I would have done so well on my own.
That's exactly my first thought when I found out they were separated.
I wouldn't have done so well.
No.
I don't have Susan to keep me on time. I'm gonna be. This won't work. And so I was just like wondering, sure, what would I build? But just thinking, just the dread of like, oh man, you kind of rely on your teammate. Yeah. You need your team. And so
building alone is scary.
Woo!
Yeah, this is the one where I'm like, thank goodness I wasn't around anymore.
You guys don't envy this.
So
it's nice just to observe things.
That's pretty much what happened to Zach, because he was really focused,
he
right? He was doing
like
a great
times,
build,
if I remember.
But then he was the last one, like last second, to roll his build over, and that's why he was going like bonkers fast, and the tail just popped right off because he was like literally going. So that's what happened. Is if you don't have your teammate, if you don't have your timekeeper, it can be kind of dicey if you're not paying attention. So, yeah.
Timekeeper.
I'm sorry I jumped in on you right there, Mark, but I thought you were talking about Wayne. He restarted, if I recall, like twice or 3 times. I'm not sure exactly.
Wow.
He was going to do a tiger, then a peacock, and then landed on a gator in the end, or a crocodile or something. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting how that works out.
In 5 hours.
In 5 hours, yeah.
Cool.
And what's funny, like my build is like exactly my style. It's smaller, it's crazy detailed, and it's maybe too much detail. And Mark's is large and it's got a good presence, and it doesn't have as much detail. It's like that is the exact, like you could see us split so easily. That was actually really interesting to watch.
And I do want to make a point too, that if you think about like an animal, and everybody's like, oh, it would be no problem to replicate an animal. But if you think about how an animal, like the direction that the legs may bend on an animal, like the size of the head, like the shape of the body, like it's difficult.
And then making all the pieces fit together.
Yeah, like draw a horse from memory. Like just try it. It will fail.
We did the turtle in episode 5, and you were like, Maria, you make the head. And I remember piecing that together, and like if you just touched it wrong, it would fall apart, because like just trying to get the smooth edges where you want them to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was too small. But it was
figurative stuff is always very, very difficult. Any character design, whether it's human or not, is one of the most difficult things you can do. Trying to bring life into it and trying to get it to sculpt. I mean, I think all of us have tried something like that in the past, and it takes a considerable amount of time to get the proportions down. But basically, if you're doing a rush job like that, congrats to all you guys who finished models.
Yeah.
And then trying to just smash the two together is even funnier.
It amazes me how
funny for you guys.
You guys put together in 5 hours for that second part of the challenge, because like just the sheer amount of stuff. Like when I looked at like how much David and Richard had, and how much Caleb and Jacob had. Like all of you guys, you just had so much stuff on that big, huge, gigantic board. I was like, how is it even possible?
Some of us have too much.
I was impressed. I
Someone
loved it. You guys did fantastic.
Thank you.
Someone's asking us to go around for the people who didn't participate to say what animals we would have built. Well, let's start with the teams, because luckily one of you guys could just do a quick vetting right now, because someone's got to take the animal and someone's got to take someone's got to take land and one's got to take sea.
I don't know. I like land animals better.
See, and I like sea animals, and I figured that's probably how we would have split that.
Perfect.
Cool.
So I mean, there's some things as teams you can kind of guess what the other teammate would do, but having that wall, you can't bounce, you can't verify, you can't like, hey, what do you think of this? Or there's just like I was just like, no teammate, what's happening? But I will say this, I was super impressed at the second 5 hours. One of the how you guys like threw all your animals together. For instance, one of the lessons Susan and I learned in episode 1 was not to undo any of your mistakes, any of your builds. What I mean by that is like, oh, this isn't working out. We would set it down and rebuild it so that we had the pattern to copy, like just like right there, right? And so mashing your animals together, I was thinking, oh, you could kind of just like rebuild to the proportion size, but no, you did not have time for that. You literally had to pop an arm off and stick it on there somehow. And I was just like, oh, dude, that really ups the intensity of this challenge.
Yeah.
I was impressed with you guys.
How about you, Marie and Philip? Would you get
We
sitting there? How would you try to split it?
We talked about this on Tuesday, and we immediately he was like, "Oh, I would do land and I would do water," and I had said I would do a like a stingray or a manta ray. Now that's what I say now, having had plenty of time to think about it. I'm sure right there in the moment I would not have thought of that. I don't know what I would have done, but with like the easy time over here in Oclocosaurus.
Yeah,
I think I would have done a goat.
A flex, isn't it?
You gotta have a goat flex in there. Just saying.
Goat.
And then we would have had a goat array, is what we decided what it would have
A
been.
goat array.
Goat array would be hilarious. I don't know.
The G period O period A period T period array. The greatest of all time.
Yeah. On the charcuterie board.
I don't know if Parse would have allowed me. I would have gone with C. And I would have gone with a really simple shape like a shark. I mean, a shark is basically just as long as you get the teeth and the beady little eye in the front, you've got it. It's just a bunch of fins and a barrel, and you just slope it down. You're done.
Funny you should mention that.
Because I'm also thinking ahead like, oh, they're gonna make us mash this. A land shark, I could do that all day, right? You can put legs on a shark called land shark.
Funny you should mention that though, Moto. There were some sculptures in the gallery area, the larger room in the back, and they had a beautiful rhino, the fluke of a whale, a gorgeous like black tip shark. They had a big orangutan monkey looking thing. They had a cheetah. They had a bunch of other creatures that were all sitting there and looking amazing. So I'm like, okay, cheetah's out the window. I'm not doing that.
Oh,
one.
so there was a shark.
Right
yeah, and you don't want to compete against. Yeah, you don't want to compete against the soya.
None of us didn't want to do that. So, although a shark would have been really fun.
Well, I'd probably do a starfish then, because I'm into Starro. You can just put an eyeball on that, boop, and then they take you out for IP infringement, right?
Yeah.
Starfish is nice and easy, right? You get modularity. You replicate one arm around a central core, machine out. Once you solve the arm, you just machine that sucker out. And it's not a squid. It's not something that's been done before with tentacles, but it's sort of as a tentacle function, just flatter. So I'll just go with starfish. I just made up my mind. I'm changing it to starfish on the spot.
But Moto, what if Paris had done a horse? How would you guys mash those two together?
You just stick the starfish head on the horse body. You
Put it around the horse's head like the lion's
Yeah, you got a Stranger
like
Things.
the mane,
you got the Stranger Things.
Isn't that already like a Pokemon?
Yes, like the Demogorgon, yeah.
No, but that's the problem. Is I have no clue what Paris would have built or I would have built.
There's no way you could know. There's no.
I imagine that the scale difference would have been just like Mark, you, and Steven, because I tend to go a bit larger than he builds, and it would have been like a holy God, we got to make this work. Who knows?
Yep.
Was there anything in the rules about like insects? Could anybody have done insects or anything like that? Dragonfly?
Technically, it's an animal.
Well, I got away with a jellyfish, and an insect is actually as same intelligence as a jellyfish. So I think it's fine.
I was just curious.
Well, and Richard did coral, which again is it's like a
Animal, but
it counts as an animal. I'm 100%.
It is an animal. The
Yeah.
polyps that
It's
form
an
the
animal,
coral.
but like
Yeah.
you wouldn't look at it and go animal, So
Yeah.
it's like bugs and same thing.
yeah,
But none of us wanted to do a bug. We all wanted to do something, big and interesting like
But you
that.
could do
Except for
like
me.
a giant ladybug. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah, bugs
Or
are tough though,
praying
man.
mantis or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been cool. Oh, I forgot about
Mine would
that.
not have looked like a praying mantis.
I
if
would have been
put
like,
it up
bugs are
before.
awesome, but I'm staying the heck away from that due to the 5 hours. There's no way.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
take
true. I
that
forgot
on.
about that. Yeah.
To try to get this thorax
But,
to work.
Caleb and Jacob did have some nice insects on their environment because they used their little caped bugs again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I noticed was there a dragonfly?
There was.
Like they didn't specifically show it. I could just see like a little strip of it on the side, but it looked really nice.
Yeah, they did a good job. They did a really good job.
Oh,
honestly.
guys, check this out. Boom. There's Jack.
Boom!
How's it going?
Hey. So good to see you, Jack.
Do you want to ask the question of Jack what he would build?
Jack, what would you have built if you had to build either sea or land?
If I had to build what?
A sea or land animal. And you had 5 hours to do it.
Alligator.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Wayne built.
You're copying our bill. I know. It would have been all over again.
Well, a crocodile and an alligator, just saying.
Oh yeah, do a crocodile, and he would do an alligator. So you'd be
Could a
good.
crocodile be a land or a water creature?
We
I
had that
guess.
debate a lot
It's
actually.
amphibious.
So they said a crocodile would count for land.
It's like the difference between gnomes and dwarves. It's just you're still copying.
There's a big difference, Ken. There's a huge
Yeah,
difference.
there's a big difference. Don't get the fantasy guys started. Just
I'm
saying.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Hard to differentiate from Lego. Let me put it that way.
Were you guys not allowed to do any fantastic creatures like mythical beasts and stuff? It had to be a true animal.
Isn't
I could have
that
been.
instantly recognizable?
Mhm.
Could you have done
So you
this?
could
Probably not.
Unicorn?
It's already a match.
Oh, that's already a mashup.
We probably would have been allowed to do a unicorn, but none of us actually thought of it. So
Yeah, I was wondering,
don't
like,
actually
someone-
remember, probably not.
My son, he was really. My son went straight to gotta build a dinosaur. I was like, oh my god, you
Yeah.
cracked the code, kid.
Yeah, that's smart.
Mm.
What if somebody did like a human as their land creature and then like a fish as their sea creature?
Mermaid.
You went over the mermaid
Oh, that would have been smart.
or
Or
mermaid.
you can fish head with the legs.
Or you could do no, that would be two land creatures. Never mind.
Yeah. Ah.
But then build a cool human in 5 hours. You can make a mini man size one, I suppose.
It's the environment that would spin me out of control. Any given time, you just got to deal with whatever you got, right? Whatever you presented, you kind of have to think about how we're going to smash this together.
Mm.
I will say this: I don't know if you guys have the same idea, but the minute I saw giraffe and jellyfish, I'm just like, rip that neck off and just smash it right on top of the jellyfish. Nothing
What else
else you
did
can
we
do.
have
There was no other way.
No other way to build that thing.
You guys did a really nice job with the legs because you didn't just snap the legs on there. You turned
Yeah,
them
use
into
them like that,
tentacles, and
Mhm.
I thought that was really smart.
The only other way that you could have done it is use the head and the neck as tentacles, but having to replicate that like 20 times or whatever,
God,
it's
nightmare.
impossible. You'd never get it done.
Yeah.
One thought that occurred to me later was to use the
Jack, I think you've got a
head
little bit
as
of
like
noise.
a turtle shell.
Go
What was
ahead.
that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Jack,
Mark.
Jack was having some feedback. That's okay. He can
Okay.
admit when
The use the jellyfish top as like a turtle shell, and then have the giraffe head a lot lower and like at the edge. But then again, you'd be losing quite a bit more of the giraffe. So I think that in the end, it was simplest to just plop.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other way
Looks
to do
silly,
it.
but it works. So
Yeah, especially with the scale being so off.
Oh,
And this
Yeah.
is the time. So because we're doing a double header, the chat, if you guys have any questions, you better start typing furiously because I am going to try to keep it to an hour and a half. And that means we have, maybe 20 more minutes to get to this episode, all the questions you guys wanted to ask and have answered.
real quick, if I don't know if
Yeah.
this is like a last question for this episode, but Michelle, tell them about how you decided to name your environment.
Okay,
Like,
so,
yeah.
okay. So we originally had a different name, but we couldn't use it because it was owned by, I think it was owned by Disney or something. And so Will came up to us and he's like, "Oh, you guys have to change your name." And we're like, "Are you joking? Like, are you serious? We really have to change our name?" And he's like, "No, you really do." And so he sat at our table for a while, and everybody was like tossing back different like ideas, like he was. And I'm not a real big person, so I was like, I don't know. I already came up with one name. I don't know what else I can come up with. But then like other people started having input, and I think it was one of the camera guys who came up with Budapest, which was hilarious. It was funny. Will was like that was like, he like loved the name. It was like one of his favorite like pun moments, like, for the show. So I'm surprised it actually didn't make it, but I thought it was pretty funny. We're like, oh, a pest. That's perfect. It's cheese and, a pest. So we did not come up with that.
And from now on, Natalie and Michelle will always have this like running joke, just like Hawkeye and Black Widow. We don't talk about Budapest.
Oh man,
we don't want to relive Budapest.
And they're going to
have a very different memory of what happened in Budapest.
Is it Budapest or Budapest?
Oh, Budapest. I don't know, Michelle. What was it? Budapest.
Yeah, because it's pest, right? Like the rat's pest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Budapest.
Yeah, wasn't it in Black Widow? They were having an argument about whether it was Budapest or Budapest. Guess you had to have watched Black Widow.
I have to rewatch it now. I don't know. Oh my goodness, no other questions. So if you guys want, we can go on to the next one. Or yes, no? Any more?
The only thing I can think of is the golden brick, but we just thought about
Oh
using
my
it.
god, you guys.
Yeah.
You had the stones. I gotta tell you, that was like
You were very concerned.
We were really scared. Not gonna lie, we were very scared. And we really did talk about it for a long time. And some of the production were like, "You gonna play it?" We're like, "We're not even sure." So it's kind of a last minute decision, honestly. But we liked our build, so we figured we'll hang on to it. We'll stick around and see what happens. So yeah, it was a pretty gutsy move, but it's kind of how it went down.
We were so close though. It was a decision of, it's like, do we use it? Do we not? We were honestly could have gone either way, but I managed to convince Stephen that was like, fortune favors the bold. Go for it. Do it, try it. And he was pretty much about to pass out the entire time.
Yes, I was. Okay. Andreas, I kid you not, he said, "I want a camera on Steven the entire time. If he faints, I want it on camera, okay?"
That's
literally what he said. Slater told me that's what he said. It wasn't Andreas who told me that.
I remember you guys going back and forth, whether or not you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Andreas, I was looking at the last batch of pictures. It was from episode 10, but the ones that they released, and I noticed in the background, if you zoom in, there's the back of Andreas' hat. You're like, "Oh, it's Andreas!"
I love people like that.
Yeah. But they let us take a picture on the stairs. We were pretty happy about that. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was so cool.
So jelly.
okay.
You guys remember how we weren't allowed to
we
go
just
on
have
there?
to take a little pause. Jack, I have to mute you again. For some reason, your audio is coming through really scrambled.
Okay.
But if you have to say something, definitely unmute. It's us, like basically our sound is coming out of whatever you have, and it's going back into your mic and causing a lot of feedback.
If you have like headphones.
Sorry, Jack.
You can use.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, they let us take a picture on the stairs. We were all very excited about that. So yeah, it was.
I heard Natalie was doing like a mark
shoot,
thing,
he's gone.
like
They got to him.
Hey,
The audio police got to him.
Jack. Sorry, Maria. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I heard Natalie was doing a little mark thing where she was being like, "Hey, we should get a picture on the stairs. Can we get a picture on the stairs? What do you think about a picture on the stairs?"
How about some burgers on the stairs?
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, wasn't it at this point that we got another snack? Was it donuts?
I think donuts happened right after this. So.
Yeah, I think this was like, yeah.
And it was like instant. Like it was like,
They didn't
hey,
even wait.
donuts would be great. Like the next hour there are donuts, you know.
They probably went over to the crew area and like shoveled in like the 3-day-old donuts into like a
No,
box.
that is the star treatment right there.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, they were
the
Dunkin'. They were good.
They were good.
You know,
Before that,
this
we
is-
had pizza. Before that, we had pizza. I remember
You
when Dave and
guys,
Richard
you
had
guys
pizza
sound
with
like
us.
prisoners under interrogation. The minute they give you like a little bit of something, you feel like your life is enhanced.
We're like,
and you're
we
willing
get
to
to
do
go home
more.
at 7 tonight. Yay!
Instead of 11:30.
Like you're so happy for donuts. I'm like, man, these guys are breaking under interrogation real fast. They're gonna do everything.
Hey, they were good donuts.
There was a Friday or something where they let us go home at 7, and we were so excited. Like,
I remember that.
Oh, I lost my cool at that point too. I was like,
what are we gonna do with all this time?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Oh man.
Work.
But yeah, I think that covers it though.
I remember like actually cheering when I saw the photo of you guys on the stairs because Wayne and I had been chased down off of the stairs. We were trying to like creep up and we got caught and got pulled down. And it was, oh man, but you guys made it. They did it. They were on the stairs.
Yeah, of the 24 of us there,
It
it
would've
did not
collapsed.
surprise me that it would be you and Wayne trying to sneak up the stairs.
I made it up to the first level and no one chased me away, but it was like one of the very, very first beginning days of production.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were letting us wander, I think, just a little bit because there was too many of us to corral when we all kind of went crazy around the place. And yeah, I just went up the second level and I was staring at all the little figures and stuff. And then I came down. And,
Ew.
and then they went through the, right after that, they went through the rules like you can't go on the stairs and this and other. I was like, I made it in.
Maria and I were talking about this. We said we'd never have any regrets, the outcome or anything that happened on the show, but that is a regret, is not going to the second floor of the set.
Oh yeah, never went to the second floor.
Especially like episode 2 or 3, it's like, they're not gonna get rid of you. Like, I guess they could eliminate you.
They don't want to mark your face.
No. They beat the bottom of your feet because it doesn't bruise or show.
Run fast. The rest of you guys are going to the stairs, got pounding on the meat walls. I was just fine. I was like, I didn't.
Android Moto again.
Moto voice.
He's malfunctioned.
Yeah. Oh no, he's frozen.
The conspiracy has been on live stream. It's confirmed. Moto's an android.
No. It's coming back. Hold on.
Is he an android?
He is now.
He's Zane.
He's Zane.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectly ordinary human.
There you go. You're back.
There we go.
He's rebooted.
I'm
I
sorry,
like
my battery's
the
run out.
Bearded Builders Guild
BBG?
shirt. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's
I gotta get one of those. Like, I'm
You
assuming
got-
there's a store out there to get one.
You need to get yourself in the BBG.
No, well, I can't grow a beard, so there's that.
You have a beard.
You count. You count. You qualify, Philip. You're good.
Oh, Jack needs a shirt too, for sure.
Yeah, Jack's got the beard.
I'm
He's
sure
got-
Jack.
Yeah, he's got it
Jack
going.
would probably get indoctrinated if, as soon as we can get him to the next convention where the BBG is in force.
Do they like?
Yeah,
Have a
there's a
knighting
whole
or
thing. Yes,
something?
they do. There's
Yes,
a
So
they
Mark,
do.
why don't you?
There's a
why
whole
don't you talk-
ceremony.
So we'll
Oh,
tell
wow.
Mark's.
Yeah,
Mark
they're
was,
actually
Mark had a
in the
recent one.
ceremony.
There's a ceremony.
I was totally kidding.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
there is. You described it well.
So
Go ahead, Mark.
I was talking to Stephen and Tyler over by the vendor area of Brickford, Virginia. And all of a sudden, Cody and all his goons, I want to say, but his buddies, they all are all suddenly they have us surrounded. And one of them has a phone and is playing bagpipe music. And then Cody walks up and says, "Mark, do you intend to never shave your beard?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah. Are you never going to be a dink?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So
He like has his list
"You're
of
part of the
questions.
bearded builders." He just like hits me with this he has like a little brick built steak knife, and then he hands me a little brick badge. He's like, "There you go, Mark." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I didn't need no application necessary." Apparently, they just if you have a beard and you're a builder.
Cool.
They had bagpipes playing on their iPhone, by the way. It's pretty
Mhm.
What's
funny.
a dink?
I have no idea, but I guess I'm not one. I'm part of the group.
Oh, he
I'll-
said something about never.
I know what it is. I'm
baby
putting in the
face
private
or
chat
something.
because we cannot repeat it.
It's
Oh.
never be babyface. Always build great
There you go.
mocks and don't be a dink.
That was the last one. Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Building
I
mocks.
will point out
Yeah.
that I don't.
But
Mark,
what's
I
funny
think
is
last time we talked, I don't think you said you've shaved it all since then.
Yeah. So that was August 1st or thereabouts, and I haven't trimmed since then. It's gotten another inch or so since about a month, and I'm gonna leave it and see how long I can get it. Steven's not happy, but
No. But what's funny?
Oh my gosh, I need to see the video.
Yeah,
they have one with Manny.
somewhere.
I think Manny getting indoctrinated.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Me and Tyler are perfectly clean shaven, and we're just sitting by watching. We just look at each other like, yeah, we'll be good. Both of us perfectly clean shaven, and we're just sitting like, no biggie.
At Brick Slopes, I was getting a question of like, hey, there's a foot of you with a beard, so yeah, you gonna grow a beard? You gonna grow a beard, Moto? Yeah, you're gonna grow a beard. You gotta grow a beard. It's like nope. And I had a long, complicated Keanu Reeves involved side story of why I couldn't grow a beard and why I wouldn't do it. But
your beard is amazing, Moto. It's amazing beard.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's all. Well,
anyway. Moto, you're an Android though, right? So don't they have to attach your beard?
They do. It's all glued on.
It's Velcro.
It's all pasted. It's all
Velcro beard. Yeah.
Velcro beard.
Like Jacob's back of his head.
I just disassembled the lower jaw and the upper lips, and I put a new component on, and it seals up.
Just or like Will's the back of Jacob's head. Right.
Exactly.
You guys remember in the makeup room or the hair room on set, they had like the placard of all the different mustaches that were available for Will's boss.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is this? Why is there this random placard of mustaches? Like I assumed it was from a different show that was still there or something, but nope, it was for the show.
I remember seeing like a clothes rack full of flannel bathrobes. And I remember thinking, what on earth are flannel bathrobes going to be for? Like, what could this challenge possibly be? And then we never found out until we saw episode 1, and Will comes marching out into the stage in a flannel robe, and I'm like, oh!
Yeah, I'm waiting for the whole series to end because there was another piece of costume work that I saw. It was like, oh, okay.
We thought for sure that the whole robe and bathroom robe stuff was going to be like a precursor to like a dreamscape or something like that. I don't know. But...
Well, and then I think I remember seeing some like small children clothes, but I don't.
Yeah,
think that
you
ever
are
turned
correct.
Out to
there
be
was
anything.
maybe it will be. We'll just have to wait and see.
Maybe they were going to have us pull it out later.
The Fox Sniper's going to take you out now. The Fox drone circling overhead is going to blow you up. Just for saying that.
They'll get you.
I want to see everybody's t-shirts. Mark, what are you wearing? What's your t-shirt?
Oh, let's all stand up.
Please.
What about you, Steven?
Oh, I got a new one from us, actually.
What?
Cars ahead.
Oh, I love it.
Custom?
Yeah, Mark made this.
That is fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna be on the
it
website
matches
here
the
soon.
green perfectly, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Are you selling it?
Yeah.
Soon. Gonna put it up and some stickers and
It
posters.
also is coming with a poster too.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, here.
I need to start getting everybody's links so I can put all the stuff in the description.
Oh, nice.
you got the
I
fan
love that fan X shirt.
I have an ordinary shirt.
It's got Spider-Man hanging from.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I thought it was Star Wars.
Delicate Arch.
Or something. I don't know.
Delicate Arch.
No, it's Spider-Man hanging from Delicate Arch. So anybody watching right now, if you want to see us at FanX, go to the Facebook page and tell FanX that you want to see us.
There you go. How about you, Michelle? You've got the overalls on.
It's just a white shirt.
Okay.
Aw.
Is it? It's not
And
official
overall.
wardrobe though. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you're definitely on brand. And
Yeah,
Jack, you rocking anything? No.
Nope.
Okay.
I technically I have a Nintendo like controller shirt on underneath here, but I'm not taking my shirt off because that feels awkward on TV. Like
Yeah.
we're just gonna.
I could start like mount.
Yeah, we'll need some.
Quick,
I'll need
quick,
to
let's go on to the next episode.
I would need to load some very different music to this streamer
Oh, my word.
to be able to do
There's
that.
no print on my shirt either. It's
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna work out great.
Let's move on to
Exotic
Yeah, let's move on. Number
Okay,
10.
Guys, before you answer another question, I have to leave, and I'm just going to leave Jen here. So if you can entertain her while I'm gone.
we'll try.
Okay, so
Yeah. Ditch
is
Jen.
Jen at your
This
house
isn't-
or are you at Jen's house?
She's at my house.
So
But I'm over here.
and you're leaving
mean,
Jen at your house.
I counted all the Lego
Okay.
beforehand.
That was my question.
That was smart.
Yeah, photos.
But bye, guys. I got to go get children.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Turn on the ring security system while she's there. You'll be
Oh
okay.
yeah, all the
Yep.
cameras are on.
Hey, Jen, I want you to look around for a stuffy with a cold stare and a camera eye.
The nanny cam.
The nanny cam.
If you send us all Lego from Susan or from Susan's collection, if you send it to us, we won't tell.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Can
don't
I
want to
have
be
a fire
looking for a
station? Can I have a fire
stuffy.
station?
It's going to be in one of the Lego sets.
Susan won't notice at all the big
yeah.
blank spot on her
Yeah,
shelf.
big missing modular.
Can I please
something
get the
looks
fire
like it's
station?
there.
I need that color for something. Just kidding.
We won't do that.
No, of course not.
Oh man,
And
so
this is only part of it. You can't see the rest of it. Here.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Oh, wow.
More. Nice. Holy cow. Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
you guys had me in so many diversions. I've already forgot what episode 10 was. I just totally
Oh,
blanked. Help
flip
me
my
out.
block.
Houses.
Oh yeah, flip my
Houses.
block. Oh, thank
Stream.
you. Oh my goodness. Yes.
I
That
was
was
super
a-
excited
oh,
for
go
this challenge until I saw all the motion it required, and I was like,
Yeah. So that's a good one. Let's start it off with the good old banners. Were there any rules that were not aired?
Mm-hmm. There were a few.
Yes.
Okay, go start with Steven.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll go real quick. So, for one, this was our. I don't want to be salty about this, but this is our last chance to use the golden brick. Was episode 10, and they told us that a long, long time ago. That's why I'm sure it was pretty confusing to anybody who didn't have the backstory to that. Like, why did they just hand in their brick when they had a decent creation? You know, like that was pretty strong, and there's some people on Instagram who would have a different opinion of that, but I thought it was pretty good, and it was clear we thought our build was very good, and we just like, yeah, here you go. We just kind of dunk it into Will's hand, but that was our last chance, period, to use that that golden brick, and they said that in season 1. They talked
Episode
about that.
1.
Like,
Episode 1, yeah, that was part of the set of if you had it, you had to use it by 10 was the latest.
yeah,
Yeah.
but in season 1, they actually told the audience that on the show,
okay.
but not this one. They skipped that, and I can't think of why, because they did it last season. I don't see why they would have done it now, but that's one of the reasons we were so hesitant to not use it in the animal mashup. So yeah, we were a little annoyed because it looked like we didn't trust our build, but we did. It kind of made it look very confusing. So just leave it there. Didn't like that.
Oh,
I know a lot of people have asked me that too. They're like, why did they use it? I mean, first of all, I wasn't there, so I couldn't answer that question. But yeah, I was like, well, you know, last chance.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well.
Yeah,
If it's the
well.
final one you do, it's just a little extra comfort and padding, right? It's like
Yeah,
a seatbelt. Even if you don't think you're going to crash, you wear the seatbelt.
Exactly. And Will was talking about it with us. He's like, yeah, so this is your last chance to use the golden brick. You could just build a big sign that says, suck it. And it is.
I'm like, no way.
I feel like this is a missed opportunity, Mark.
You know, and I'm like, as fun
Let's
as
do
that
it.
would be,
Let's
we're
do it
going
right
to
now.
try to do the challenge and, be a
Mark,
good sport.
Mark and Steven, how's your suck it sign going? What scale are you building at?
Yeah, so
that's
that's
why-
where we're like, it'd be cool to not use it and then have them take it from us, but at the same time, we'll just use it for.
That's
more
why I
options.
said it would be a baller move to hold on to it, because I'm like, what would you guys even do? That's kind of a nod to them. Like, what would you guys even do if we held on to it? So I just like, yeah, we'll just play it. That was the whole nonchalant behavior around that whole decision. So it would have made a lot more sense if they just told them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Michelle,
Also-
I'll let you take the second half as the actual challenge. I think Maria and Philip, they got into this on Instagram. By the way, if you're not watching Maria and Philip on Instagram the night of the airing, later on in the night, you're also missing out on a lot of these good things that are discussed.
Very juicy.
Very juicy. It's just that YouTube tends to have a better archival ability to go back and see things. But Michelle, why don't you talk about the required number of movements that had to be in each model minimum and
I'm
some of the
pretty
other rules?
I'm pretty sure it was four movements that you had to have.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum of 4. And we were like, what? 4? 4? How are we gonna put 4 movements in a house? Like, and as far as the other rules, I'm not like sure. Like, I don't know. Mark, are there other?
No,
ones?
that was the big. question that I heard was that people
And then
didn't
use all the
recognize
pieces.
that there had to be at least
Oh,
4.
that's right. Yeah, you had to use all the pieces of the house.
Every single one of the pieces of the house and
the twist
seed part. The seed
elements,
part.
right?
That's what we call it.
Mhm.
Yeah, a seed part. That's what we had to use.
Oh.
Another thing that they kind of didn't really bother to remind anybody was you are judged on your seed part usage. And I think they said you got bonus points for multiple uses. I think they said that. Bonus points in a very vague term, of course. But I think they... Did they say that, Michelle? Because I honestly can't remember.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't remember. I just
Because
know...
I know we were judged on our seed part usage.
Yeah.
On the MPU. We were judged on that specifically. But I don't know. What did the story end there? I can't quite remember. But...
That was the gist of it, though. There was a few things, not too complicated. It was pretty simple. Use all the pieces, 4 different movements at least, and then have fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, use the piece very nicely. By the way, that was a Yale forklift that Will was driving, and I am 100% sure Will does not have a license to drive a forklift. No. So I was a little nervous. I'm like,
I'm pretty sure he doesn't either.
Okay, that is I think it's a 5-ton forklift, so you really need to be careful when you're
I would have been seriously worried.
I don't know. But I drive forklifts like that literally every single day, and I'm like, dude, you got to be careful driving that. He did fine, but I'm like, if you never hopped in one of those things, they are weird. They're very weird. They're not. They're kind of like
with the rear wheels, like our steer with the rear wheels.
You steer with the rear wheels, unless you have a 3-wheeled forklift, and then you steer with a single back, or you can turn them sideways and move side to side. But yeah, I was like, careful with that, Will, because I know what those things can do.
I would have treated it like a bison, which means you're cool until it gets within 15 feet, and then you start slowly backing away.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And you always keep a big object between you and it. Basically, you want it to crush the car, not you. So you always look at the bison from the other side of the car.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moto,
right through.
Post up my question because I have a follow-up for Stephen and Mark.
Hold on.
It's about the golden brick.
Oh,
Where
wow.
do you put it in your build?
Oh.
If that's how you wanted to turn it in.
It didn't cross our minds, but that's a really clever idea.
It's pretty clever, though.
If any other Lego Masters watch this, Australia, Germany, Sweden, I don't care.
Do this.
The US,
Do it.
please, if you have the chance to do it, build a golden brick into your build to turn that sucker in. That's the way to do it.
We
That's
forgot
the way to
to
go
do
out.
that. That was our opportunity. We forgot to do that.
Do you know what every building has? Every building.
Oh, I know where he's going with this.
Every building that you see that's a large building has a cornerstone. Just saying.
Oh, then they would have to root it out from the bottom of the house.
Good for them.
That's You know,
That's art department. Who cares?
If you turn it in, it's not your problem anymore.
Oh, you're right. It's out of our hands.
And then when you
God.
interconnect it, you have to make sure you really interconnect it so that
Like
they
put
have
it in
to
the
remove
middle
all
of the
layer.
wall almost. Yeah.
Did you guys happen to see Amy's? She did a little interview, and somebody asked her about the gold brick. Did you guys happen to see that? Okay, so they asked her, is the brick made out of real gold? And I guess for season 1, they had actually made a real gold brick, and they ended up using the chromed one because the gold brick didn't shine at all, and they wanted
gold doesn't shine.
They wanted it to have like a shiny effect, so they actually did have a gold brick, but they didn't use it.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, when I pan for gold, the way you can suss out the gold from the pyrite is the pyrite glints brighter, but also if you put it in shade, the gold will retain the glint, whereas the pyrite won't. But the pyrite really is bright, whereas gold is a very dull luster.
It's a muted thing.
So yeah.
See, Moto knows about panning for gold. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just saying. I like how you nonchalant.
I'm not surprised at all that you know about that.
When I'm doing archaeology, looking for fossils.
Archaeology and fossil hunting are two different things.
When I'm doing both of those things.
Hey, Moto, last
I
time
can
I was
give you
at the
tips on either one.
So, Moto, last time you were at the International Space Station, we compared G-Shock to Omega, and we...
That kind of so nerdy was amazing.
Moto and James Bond.
Well, once I came back from orbit, it turns out that because of the equals MC squared effect, I was a quarter second, younger than you.
Yeah, because a quartz watch is actually less effective in space than an automatic one because of the less friction.
God, this is awful. What?
Anyway.
I just want to point out the fact that you've never seen Superman and Moto in the same room together.
You're saying.
Oh, I'm not Superman, but there is a theory that I am Thunderman. So I'll let you guys figure that out.
I was gonna say the Flash.
I was gonna say John Wick, but there's that.
That's the closest one, Philip. That's the closest one.
Oh lordy. Anyway, the derailment. So back to the buildings.
I have a question for Michelle.
Okay.
How many movements did you guys end up with? I kind of lost track.
So we had the fanfare lights, and then the roof spinning, and then the little ringmaster circle thing, and the popcorn machine. And then we had lights. We had like some lights on our by our fanfare lights. So I guess there were like 5 things. I mean, if you count each fanfare light as one thing.
Was your popcorn itself actually moving?
It was.
That was the best. That was my favorite part of your creation, the popcorn.
Oh, look here.
They didn't show it very well in the show, or we missed it.
There's a lot of motion that got
What? It is so cool.
Wait, what?
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Show us again.
Back up. Hold up. There you go. Right there.
That's awesome.
That is so cute, Michelle.
Moto, make the page bigger.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can do that if I don't put it in the green room.
I love it.
Look down in there. There's like these little spinny things that made the popcorn kind of like pop around. But
that's awesome.
Pop around.
Can you make it spin, or do you have to plug it in?
I have to. Okay, so like I have had the worst time with this little hub thing. It is not working for me. I got it to work a little bit, but every time I try it, it doesn't want to connect. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
All right, that's right. Don't worry about it. Take a video and show us later.
Oh,
yeah. I'll try it while I'm sitting here.
Why don't you finagle while we keep chatting about random things that I am or am not that have nothing to do with the episode?
So
it's for conversations like that you realize what the producers had their hands full with us. You know, it's just us going off on tangents and having fun and trying to climb up the stairs and
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jen.
Mark,
we were very much a handful. Just so everybody out there in the internet knows,
we were spunky.
You're all
we were spicy. They're spicy this year. That was one of the first things Will said the minute we started giving them flack from the very beginning. They're spicy this year. Or spicy this season. I forget. It was one or the other.
I have a question about the build. So, was there like a discussion? Because I know sometimes they wouldn't give you ideas of what to do, but they would kind of direct you along the right path of what they were looking for. And some of them were more housey looking than others, but there's like the circus tents and the flying pig. Like, was the expectation that it wasn't supposed to look strictly like a house?
They left that a little bit vague.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a build whatever you want, but they kind of wanted a neighborhood theme. I think they kind of wanted a very vague general house nature, I guess you could say. That one was left pretty ambiguous.
Because as I was thinking about what would we build, right? Which I have no idea, but I'm that's actually a good idea.
Oh, by the way,
that is a good idea, actually.
Guys, I'm gonna flash 2 things up. So
yes,
Rick Snaps, goat. Adam, goat. You brought up goat.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, it's just as I was thinking about what on earth would we have built? Obviously a goat farm, but my brain went to houses and not things that are buildings that are not houses. And I was like, oh my gosh, would I have gone up there with a really boring looking house compared to what everybody else had?
That's why you have a teammate.
That's why
I think for us, it was that, make sure we know who lives there, so it was
that was one too. Yeah.
So how do we make sure we know who lives there? And then we tossed around ideas for quite a while, actually, because we had no idea what we were going to do.
Well, it looks really
good. That's kind of your thing, though. I mean, you and Natalie have said this before, whereas so how do you approach this? And you're just dude, we're just winging it. That's always the answer you give. Hey, we're just winging it. We're just making it up as we go along, and we're just putting stuff together, and we're doing the things. I mean, that really showed when Natalie just took her arm and like swept that build right off the table. And Will's like,
Natalie.
And I love the way she did it too. She like was looking right at Will, and she's like,
yeah, she's like giving the cold stare, and just like,
not happening.
God.
I wouldn't have wanted to go directly up against Mark either.
No, it's probably a bad idea to go up against anybody.
I mean, jellyfish is really like that's a good go-to, right? I mean,
I will say though, if I was making a jellyfish, I don't think I would have thought to do it in orange. Did you do an orange and pink? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably would have done like bright shades of blue or something because that's so good.
Bright shades of blue and pink.
I'm too literal.
Like there are some giant jellyfish at the Georgia Aquarium that are like 7 feet long and they're really big. So I was thinking of those when I was building that. So
Brilliant.
So here's another one about movement. So your mom was asking you what different movements did the haunted house
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
So I'll go through them if you want, Stephen.
Yep.
Go ahead. We were trying to incorporate as many as possible because, like, when we had the first parade float challenge, it was one type of motion. This one was like 4. It's like the stakes have been added. So yeah, the main one that took the longest time was the tentacle arm that was kind of sidewinding out the front, and that was one of the main ones. The second one that I built was it was an arm with a guitar pumping up and down out of the ground.
The front lawn, yeah.
And then the biggest one was the roof, which opened up and closed very slowly but noticeably. And then another one was on the side of the house. We had the plant monster, not too different from the plant monster guy and others, so like the little shop of horrors and that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Going up and down, pretty erratically. Actually, I'm glad it held on for as long as it did. But and then what else do we have, Steven? It was
we had the eye spun, and my favorite were the ghosts in the window. The disc ghosts. I called them ghosties for the whole show, the whole episode, and I think Will said, "Why do you call them ghosties? Ghosts are supposed to be scary," or something like that. It was really funny. But yeah, I was calling them ghosties for whatever reason. But yeah, they were just spinning, and we had some little red light bricks in front of them. So all you could see
would have gone away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Exactly. We had the ghosts spinning, and then it was black behind them. So in the stop and go video, you could see the mechanism, but in person you could not see it. You could just see 3 neon ghosts spinning in a black window. It's actually a very nice effect. The reason we had the roof go up and down though. We intended to have a big monster coming out like up and down, but that got in the way of the mechanism pushing the roof. So we're like, forget it. And Amy and Jamie and Timer. But Amy and Jamie also recommended that we focus a little more on the house, not so much the characters on the house. So we kind of pivoted a little bit and changed up the windows and put teeth in the windows. And I actually had a rainbow.
You blew the roof off the joint, so that's all you need to do.
I actually had a rainbow cemetery in the back, like all different rainbow tombstones and stuff. Because it was kind of open spot back there, so I filled it up with some of the scrap pieces. It was pretty funny. But
now,
yeah.
Michelle, there was a rule I just thought of that you guys had to speak to a little bit, which was the space you were allocated for your house.
Yes.
Was not just the base plate. There was an air zone that was, it's like an airspace that surrounded it. So you could not have any feature go beyond that air zone for reasons of possibly interfering with the house next to it. So I think you had to do an adjustment, or Natalie had to do an adjustment. Your team had to do an adjustment because of that airspace rule, right?
Right, because like where in the popcorn bucket that our fanfare lights were sitting in, when the fanfare lights we got them going, it like went over the edge or the.
Yeah, I noticed that the fronds of it spun out beyond the boundary layer, right?
It did originally, and then once like that was noticed, then she had to take the popcorn bucket apart and like move it up. I don't remember how many studs, like maybe 3-4 studs, and then put it back together, and then it cleared everything. So.
Still, that's time.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
and then.
Go ahead.
And then I was going to say for Caleb and Jacob. How much they had a ton of motion is what I've heard, but the camera pans and cuts were not helpful for this episode. So what was going on with theirs? Because someone in my lug what they took a screenshot of Caleb and Jacob's building, and they noticed a steel rod. And they're like, "What Lego element has a steel rod? Are they cheating? Whatever." And I sent a message. Out. You guys saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
And it turned out to be a Technic linear actuator with a steel component to it. I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's the way to do it."
Yeah.
So was that like driving a house because it was a Technic actuator?
They had like most of their houses were moving very slowly, but they were moving.
Yeah, it did not really show up, but like a couple other houses were going up and down very slowly. And then the garage door, which is one of their main movements, lifted up one time. The lights turned on the inside, which is really cool. And then you saw the ski lift going around. And then they also had one time also exploding mountainside, and all the snakes fell into the mountain. They actually knocked over a tree during judging as intended. So it's like that. All those things worked great, but for some reason, the cameras weren't filming the build when they were judging or something like that, and it didn't pick it up at all. You didn't see the garage door opening, didn't see the lights. So and all that stuff looked great. So it's too
I was
bad.
gonna say, man, I would have thought that the side exploding out and the snake avalanche. I don't know what to call it.
Perfect.
Lava snakes.
The snake avalanche.
Slava.
They didn't like that part at all, though.
The Slava would have been filmed. Oh well.
So did it not have to be a continuous movement? There just had to be
movement, quote unquote. I guess just yeah.
I guess if it's one time, it's okay. It's cool.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. Natalie, Michelle, you guys had a great part. You guys really got lucky with that one. Did you guys like your part?
The what?
The twist.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to still get this thing working. Yeah, I know. When we opened that, I was like, yes. So that was really cool. I'm like, oh, this goes perfectly. But yeah, I liked our part. You guys liked yours, right? With the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Steven had built it with it before in a Sea Part challenge, which was kind of covered in the episode. So
yeah, about that was pretty fun.
Yeah. So Steven knew a bunch of uses, and actually, I think I ended up using it, like applying it more. Steven was working on other things, but we had no problem with the cup because it has a good attachment point on the bottom. Also has a clipping point at the side, so it had two good connections. And yellow is a pretty easy color. So.
Can I share a technique secret with the cup?
Oh,
What's the only Lego element that will fit into the inside of the cup and form a bond?
A Technic pin?
No. Won't work.
A 1x1 round? No?
Oh, wait a minute. Is it a gear, like the smallest gear? That edge, the edge of it. Is that no? Okay, man.
Is it a pin connector?
Nope.
You got to show us,
it's
man.
Specifically designed not to stud in. So the only usable binding force that you will get is if you take a mixel or that small toe ball joint and cram it down into the cup, and you can set it in the
No way.
Yep, absolutely.
This sounds highly illegal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Take a toe ball and jam it in, and then you can use the cup handle as a bar element so that you can transfer from toe ball into bar system.
Phil's gonna try it right
now.
No,
I see Phil's gonna do it.
Careful, Phil. Don't jam it too hard.
Hold on, I think Susan's got one somewhere. Yeah, I can break it off.
Yeah.
Try it out.
No, don't break it off. Don't do that.
No,
I wouldn't use a mixel toe ball. I'd use the longer ones. So I did it in the foot leg of a mech once, and it's the ankle joint that holds the whole leg together.
It works.
See that?
Okay.
Look at that.
Nice.
So I have huge hands. Let me hold the cup it's in there.
Yeah, and it really binds. It really clutches. It clutches so
down.
strong that you can set it any angle, and then once you twist it a little bit, it locks into place and holds the angle for you.
You know, those mixel joints come with a rod on the end of them, not just a plate.
They can, yeah. So you can use bar to bar. You can just anyway. I just want to. Now that you brought up coffee cups, I just wanted to throw that out there. That there is a way to bind to the interior of a cup.
That's
okay. Hang on. I don't know if you can hear this or not.
Yes.
Wow, we heard
sound of happiness.
Wow.
that is the sound of clutch power right there. Unintended clutch power.
But that was one of the other reasons we were annoyed with this episode is because we had, Mark, was it 5 different uses?
I think it was 6.
But like that if you counted 2 of them.
Because so this gets into your Tom question. So,
Yeah, so
go ahead, go through the list of how
what
you
we
use that.
did, I'll speak for us. I kind of forgot what I know. Caleb and Jacob had like 1 or 2, and Zach only had I think 1, and
We had
Michelle and
one.
Natalie just 1. But you had the nose, right? The cloud nose on the car.
That was just a red ball.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay. Well,
Mhm.
never mind. But for us, we had the guitar tuners on the end of the electric guitars. We had those. We had the fence. We had these little skeletons on. Oh, sorry, these little skulls hanging like party streamers on the side of the house, and we had those on the on the skulls going sideways, making them look kind of like sunglasses. It kind of resembled sunglasses. I was really happy about that one. And we had the giant teeth for the plant monster, and I think
organ, which is a super simple use. But
yeah, that was a really simple one. But we had it for the pump organ chimney, which that was kind of our last ditch effort to use them all up because like, what do we do? So we just threw them on the chimney. And then we had
that might have been about it.
I think that was about it. But yeah, we had almost half a dozen
You mentioned
usages. So
Wow.
what's that?
The fence.
The fence too.
Yeah, you said
We had
fence and you
them
said teeth, right?
yeah, teeth for the plant monster. I think I mentioned that. So yeah, it was really all over the place. But Mark, you came up with most of those, which is funny because I'm the guy who's like the cup expert, even though it's obviously Moto. But yes, you are. I didn't know about that connection. That would have been so useful in the challenge I did online. That would have been on Flickr. That would have been so useful. That face. But yeah, no, we used it a lot, and we were really proud of that. And they didn't show it. You know, I was kind of disappointed. They didn't show all the usage there. It was kind of
the
a
judging
little bit of a letdown.
And the judges only mentioned
plant monster and the fence. Like that was it.
And I was like, wait, I saw more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they panned through it, so we saw all of those.
Yeah.
But they didn't highlight them. But we saw them. They were on there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are paying attention. So that's good.
Oh, you know it.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, there was the good old Indiana Jones line of snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
They were so mad.
I would have gotten pretty pissed. I mean, they are a bar element, so theoretically you can use a lot of clip to bar, but they're wiggly, which makes them really tough to solve anything or do anything with. And I noticed they used them as the edging on the roof line coming up and then out. And then, of course, the volcano lava slide was probably the best way to kind of noodle those guys out and have them slide down. That was a good idea. But yeah, if I looked at snakes, I would have been kind of like, I guess you can make fabric lines with clip and bar, but it takes forever to link those snakes together.
Yeah. The only thing I would have recommended, I thought about it only after watching it like the second time, was maybe like a red fir tree, maybe like a red pine tree, sort of look. It's possible, but it would have taken a lot of finagling if you wanted to get it to look just right. But you could have used a lot of parts, and it may have worked. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
But a pine tree is like the only thing I could think of aside from what they did.
My God, all the bearded builders are here. Like goat.
I feel like they sent out the bearded builder signal.
Yeah, they lit the smoke signal fires.
The beard signal was lit, and then everybody is coming in.
The signal fires and the
text message.
They all have a bagpipe alarm on their phone.
Yeah.
What was great is when these guys, and by the way, the majority of them have trucks, and when the truck leaves, each of them has their own specific soundtrack that they rip and blare out the windows as they blast out or in. So one guy's got like the Star Wars Imperial cavalcade is just going off. And then the other one is the bagpipes. It's just a great way to see a truck send off with all the mocks in the back, and it's
awesome.
Cool.
Mark, did you purchase your truck yet? Now that you remember,
now he's a member. He's got to get a truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that was part of the agreement.
Bro, you can borrow mine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You borrow my truck. It's good.
Yeah, they all truck.
Really? You can't sell your truck then.
I know, apparently not. I'm not a member, so it doesn't matter.
Sorry, Philip.
Philip wants to be a member, guys. FYI, we need to get Philip
get him
on.
up.
The partially bearded guild.
It counts. You got fuzz there. It counts. It's good.
Yeah, Philip, just don't do the oh gosh, he's the director. I was gonna say the pencil thin sort of creeper stash. You don't want that going on. You have a good look already.
Thank you.
And so, of all of them, oh no, wait. So there was. So yeah, so as far as so we have a challenge here in Colorado where they do a build challenge where they give you a set, and you have to. It used to be a requirement that you had to use every single piece of the set in your mock. You could have no pieces left over, and they changed the rule to give it a different point scoring. So if you use all the pieces, you get super extra credit. But I was wondering, like, did any of the teams in an act of desperation like create that empty pocket space and just like do the little hidden pocket and crumble just to get a couple of elements out of the way toward the end in desperation?
A little bit,
right?
Yeah.
You technically use it, I guess, right?
It was in the build, that's for sure.
Yeah, hidden away. It's like the Casco of Montiago. You know, you've got your like little pieces that are not working out, and you just gradually seal the poor person up.
That's why like our big long popcorn bucket was pretty nice. It had a lot of empty space in there. So
that's where the bricks are buried.
We were actually talking about, we didn't actually do this, but we're like, what we could do is just take all of our extra lumber from our house and store it in our garage. We talked about that.
That would have been funny. That would
be paint extra lumber.
Yeah. What about Wayne and Zach's seed piece? What would you guys have done with that?
What was theirs? I'm trying to remember.
It was a snowboard.
It was the. Oh, are you kidding? That thing is super useful.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. It didn't match our colors.
Yeah. So you heard Caleb say it. Roof shingles would have been amazing.
That would have been number one, straight off.
Especially at a ski resort, having like snowboards for like roof
that would have been perfect.
That would have been spot on.
Yeah.
Could you guys have traded?
Nope.
No. Yeah.
That would
I
have
don't
been.
think they were allowing us to trade.
Well, I saw you guys starting to talk to each other, like, "Hey, what element do you have? What element do you have?" And I was like, "Oh, this is like Australia. They're going to start swapping. They're starting horse trading." And then it didn't happen. I'm like, someone in production probably kiboshed that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Otherwise, they would have.
We weren't giving up our piece. Sorry. Yeah, we were. That was.
Well, except for you guys,
the cups.
You guys
yeah,
like
we were pretty happy with. I was pretty happy with our clown here.
The clown here is great.
Remind me though. Reminds me of a little story. We were. They told us it was flip my block, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how this idea came to us exactly, but we were hanging out. The lights were kind of dim. They were rearranging all the cameras. This was right before they're going to tell us the rules, I think. But we already knew we had to do a lot of movement and everything. So I remember me and Mark came up with a haunted house. Haunted house. It's perfect. We'll do a haunted house. That's brilliant. But not gonna lie, we were a little worried that someone else would have thought of that too, because it was pretty straightforward. So I do remember asking everybody or telling everybody, "Hey guys, look, just putting it out there. We're making a haunted house. So this is what we're doing."
Did Caleb and Jacob lean into that like every other episode and be like, "Oh man, now we can't make our haunted house"?
No. Well, we
so they finally let it go at that point.
We're actually kind of tired about all the the trumped up rivalry and stuff. We're like, okay, this is kind of it's exhausting to yell at each other across the hallway, so we didn't really want to do that this time. So like, we'll just tell them we're making this. It's kind of a rare moment where we're just off camera, like, look guys, this is what we're doing. So everyone just kind of like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, I think Caleb and Jacob said we're doing something with a winter theme or whatever, and Zach and Wayne hadn't quite come up with their idea yet at that point, but they're like, we're not making a haunted house, but we're waiting on that. But so yeah, we just like, I just remember that it was like a really rare moment where I was just like, okay guys, here's what we're doing. Just throwing it out there. We don't want to see you copying. You guys do what you want, absolutely. But here's what we're doing. We're making a haunted house. So that was just like the one, because there were so few of us. And for those who were in the episode, what kind of house would you?
I'm just gonna have have the rest of us read that and try to. It's the same type of question as the first episode. No, you keep going.
No, that's literally
we have a little time to think.
But
while you guys are thinking, I think I got my thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's
here we go.
Let's see it.
Okay.
Big bucks, no whammy.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
That's so exciting.
That is
kind of pops around.
After the live stream is over, we're gonna make some popcorn.
Right?
Michelle, I love that. That is fantastic.
It was like my favorite part
me-
of our build.
Can you do it again? We'll all be quiet. For me, half of it is the sound. It sounds.
I
like
know,
a
right? Okay, let me see.
So yeah, get it up there.
Let's hope it lasts again.
Wow.
The yellow on top of the white cylinders is perfect.
Okay, now it's
And I like how there's like yellow ones
God.
and brown ones.
That's
That's
genius.
just like the typewriter. It has the sound of
Hello.
like corn popping. Oh, hello.
I didn't touch any Lego. I promise.
You thought about it.
You guys watched her, right?
No
Yeah.
Lego was harmed.
Well, her hands weren't on frame the entire time, but it's been clean, and her sleeves have been clean. So unless she's a magician
like
and
this
she's
the whole
hiding it
time.
in the web, she's all good.
Bye, guys.
Bye. But
So
what would
let's
you guys
go-
have built?
We'll go around. Where to start, Jack? I'll
Start with
unmute
Jack.
you. Oops, I'm trying to unmute
One sec,
you.
Jack. One
bro.
sec. Hold that thought.
Oh, Jack, you have to unmute yourself. I can't do it. It says.
Maybe a Victorian. How-
Ooh.
That would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
There's lots of fun color opportunities there. with
Yeah.
the
Like
trim.
You
gingerbread.
would have wanted the tan one then. You would have wanted the tan one for that. Mhm. Yeah, that
Did
would look
you have a color assignment, or was it just free for all? Grab what color you want.
Well, you had to use the parts that were in the house, so you're kind of stuck with that color and whatever else you wanted to add. So
We did run up and grab them though.
Yeah, you guys ran up and grabbed
Yeah.
whichever house you wanted.
yep,
Yeah,
same
same thing with the
the
seat part too. You ran up and grabbed it. So
Yeah.
How do you think you would incorporate motion into the Victorian house?
Doors opening and closing, maybe, and that includes a garage door. Maybe people hanging out of windows or something along that line, moving in and out and around the house.
Like on Home Alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, a Home Alone theme.
A Christmas tree spinning.
Yeah.
You'll be like traps around the house too.
Yeah.
People sliding down the stairs and all that. Oh,
That would have been great. That would have been fantastic.
yo,
That is awesome, man.
Hmm.
I'll go with Marie and Philip. How about you?
Do you have one? I have.
Well, I was gonna say I really actually like your idea of doing a goat farm because
That was a bit of a joke, but
I know, but I love the idea of doing like a farmhouse and then a barn like outbuilding, and then like you could have a like a weather vane on top of the barn.
Oh yeah.
Thing. You could have. We could do like a windmill and redeem ourselves from step 7.
It'd be good motion.
But
Yeah, an arrow
Well,
motor.
I had 2 ideas. The first idea was to do a blue building with white trim and vines.
Oh God.
But
I
and then
need
it would be like just shaking it. So, and you'd
don't
have different
say.
shapes and movements. Like you would start one direction for like level 1, and then you'd go the next direction.
I apologize
Level
for him.
2.
Best joke I've heard all day.
No, but it also okay. So I will say I've got a lot of
Nice
I'm
clap
very
back, by the
fond.
way. Nice clap back. Good job.
I think if I really had done it, it would have been fun to do like a castle, like fun house, and do like in a castle theme, but then have it where like there's like a slide, and then like maybe like the top tower, it spins and it's got like people sitting on like in chairs on the outside, they're spinning on the outside.
I think a
or something
barn sounds like fun.
We intentionally avoided doing anything castle like on the show because we're like, oh, we just do castle all the time. But that would have been the one episode.
I don't know that we avoided it.
Oh, we
so much.
avoided it.
We should have done it in episode 1. That was when we should have done
Yeah,
it.
well,
But
that's-
like Cabaret Girl,
The makeshift castle. Just saying.
I mean, maybe.
Cabaret Girl, we put her in the castle.
You know what?
We put every single one of our builds in our castle build.
We could have drawn inspiration from the Granville castle apartment building.
That's awful.
Or
You know what I would have done? I would have done a ball joint house. All right, next.
A ball joint house.
A ball joint farm.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
well, they're farming the ball joints. Yes,
Oh, my
and there's
word.
big ball joints and there's little ball joints, and they like hop around.
They have
the
a
farm.
family going.
Yeah, they have a little family.
By the way,
And it-
Philip, I need to
Oh
show
my
you.
God.
There's a way you might be able to make the ball joint an actual character. There's 3 holes on one of the ball joint brick pieces, and like that kind of looks like a face. So like you give him little arms or something, it may be possible. So I want to show you sometime.
On one side of the ball joint farm, you have the ball joints, and the other side you
Okay.
have a coupler, and they don't get along. But there's one ball joint, and one coupler that are stuck together, like Romeo and Juliet would be their name.
Jealous of that right there.
It's the couplers and the capuballs.
You're right. They do look like characters already.
No, it's so cute.
Oh! I meant on the larger one, the 2x2 larger brick.
I've got that in here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull that one next. Hold on.
Yeah, let me show you real quick. Oh no! Pulled another moto.
Like you want the ball joint that goes with these guys, right? The Technic.
Yeah, the opposite. No, sorry, the
construction sized. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find that.
Oh shoot, it's not there anymore.
You guys keep talking.
Jen.
Oh.
I probably would have suggested, of course we would have collaborated, so I don't know what Susan would have suggested, but like a firehouse, and I would have had like a fire engine coming in and out, and a bell ringing, and a fireman going down a pole or something. I don't know, but that was kind of the first thing I thought of. But
That's a fun idea.
A lot of natural motion in that kind of build. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
you could almost have it for where the fire station caught fire, and you can have fire elements kind of moving or something.
right, fire and then water. There you go. There's the other two we needed. Yeah,
potential there.
There you go.
All right.
You know what you could do? You could have done like a house built on the Lego Masters set, and have like sections of the wall that go up and down at random, and then cameras come in, and then they like film you from angles, and then randomly like a wall would drop down halfway through. And then if you look up in the top of the build, you see a one hanging
Yellow
brick.
brick.
The hanging
He's full of meta ideas tonight.
Have the Lego Masters wall open.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Come in.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And then if you'd have like when the stairs on the side, and you'd have like a minifigure that would like be on like a trail going to it, but then the stairs would turn flat, so like a slide, so they couldn't get up it.
I don't know if you had enough time for that one, Philip. That sounds pretty complicated.
But he wasn't there, so
Yeah.
Oh,
you
that's
know
true.
he can come up with whatever ideas he wants because he
Yeah.
doesn't have to put them into practice.
True.
I'm sure you guys could. Yeah, you could make a bigger version.
Moto,
of the character,
hold it
definitely.
right there. Hold it right there. You see the one?
Do you see the
with
face?
The ring hand. The two
Oh,
the
the-
two holes
yes!
and the hole at the bottom.
Yep.
It's a face.
On the ball.
Totally true.
It's a ball joint man. So or a character right there. Look.
Yes, look
yeah.
at that.
Nice.
He's like a little alien. It'd be perfect.
Yeah,
He
like an
Those
alien
come
or a
in so many
ghost.
colors. So I figured, hey, give him a little. It had you do it just right. Like need a little pseudo hands, little
Yeah.
arms, little pair of legs, walking around.
Looks like he's singing.
Oh no, Mr. Balljoy!
Exactly. Looks like he's hitting a high note, you know. So yeah, it's perfect. So you got to
know,
make little
that-
ball joint characters, hand them out at conventions.
That ball joint like connects into a bunch of other parts for Bionicle, and you could like do little hats on it.
Like little horns on a. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. These are the only
Okay.
construction scaled elements that were in the pit. Trust me, I know. I looked for them.
Mm-hmm.
No love for Bionicle.
Well, they're out of production. Remember, it has to be a current production element.
That's
That's
true.
why all this, the really weird construction stuff wasn't there. I don't blame them because it's been out of production for a really long time.
Yeah.
I didn't expect any. But that would be an interesting challenge if they gave someone like a construction only challenge and every builder and that like loses their mind because they're all system builders. Like, what is this mutant I have to deal with now?
Or like, what they should do? They should give like challenges to system builders, but have them use Technic for like every other episode.
All right, stop it.
Oh, now you're really getting meta.
Very spicy.
We are so with
Yeah,
you on that
it's
one.
like
Philip.
it's like you're not complaining about anything that happened in real
No,
life, right?
no, the show was great, and I'm not being spicy at all.
You're gonna get more trouble.
Let's see. Did anybody? You already went. So we had Jen, Murray, Philip, Jack. So
You.
it's with me now.
It's
You.
Yeah, Moto, what'd you build?
Oh Lord. You know, this would have been the perfect time to bust open a spaceport.
Oh, yes.
Because you can have spaceships flying around and just going in circles or whatever you need to do for 4 motions. I mean, a spaceport,
really
they have elevators, they've got landing pads, they've got
Coffee.
I mean, anything and everything would be, you know, that's where my mind goes, is why not just knock out a spaceport? Who wouldn't love a
And this is where Philip says your UFO explodes.
Yes. And your
I wouldn't do a UFO. No way.
Your coffee cup spins. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you stay away from a UFO going up the barn door and all that. I learned it from Australia. I mean, that's just like, no, just simple little mechanisms that you can rely on, right?
Hey,
have a little spaceship and have it fly around top, things like that.
Moto, you should have the Jetsons floor, so you have a little conveyor belt with the characters moving.
Well, yeah, there's a ton of great little sci-fi hints from the 50s, 60s, or modern times that you can throw in there. It's got a ton of glass, so it lays up really crisp, and you know, my mind just goes like spaceport. That'd be the easiest way to just jam something out that people would immediately identify. It would be unique. It would be totally unique to everybody else too. I know what Parse would think, but that's where I go. Either that or steampunk. Just steampunk something out, like Jack's Victorian idea. If you went like a steampunk route and just put a ton of boilers and stuff on it.
Make it like a laboratory.
Yeah, mad scientist lab, right?
That'd be pretty cool.
Inside. Yeah, that'd be another way to go. But I always go toward more of the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
But spaceport, I think that would be my hot zone, where it's like I didn't have a chance to hit space, and I would love to just blast out a really cool spaceport. I think that'd be neat.
Blast out. Nice pun.
Oh yeah. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Monica Berry.
It's so true.
This is good. We're getting toward the end. Were there any Easter eggs hidden in your belts? Generally, you don't have the time, right? You don't have time. You have to show everything. I mean,
So, Dracula was built in the same scale as the Vikings and the dwarves and all the other characters I had made. So he's pretty much exactly the same. Maybe a tiny bit taller, but that's about it for us.
We still haven't used a minifigure in any of our builds so far.
That's true. We haven't used one.
I noticed that when they did
that's a
your
fun
animation,
fact.
they slapped some minifigs in there, and I said to
You're
Phil,
like-
I was
like,
like, "What? I thought they didn't use minifigs," and Phil was
We
like, "They
didn't.
did."
We did not use minifigs in that build, or any others. It's just like they didn't have any Viking minifigure parts or whatever. They didn't have any.
They don't have Dracula figure parts.
They, didn't have,
over there,
Dracula, they had
parts.
some guitars, but they didn't have any other like.
oh nay, they did. But
No,
you
I
could
said-
not go on the staircase to get them.
Well, they were allowed.
Pick them off the wall.
They were the
Take them off the
photo.
wall.
Just reach.
Your little buildable characters though were so cute. And speaking of your buildable characters, that commercial that Ann Leonard recorded for you guys.
Yes, they
Oh
did.
my gosh, I loved
They're
it.
so talented back there.
Oh, I was dying
You guys
laughing.
help with that at all, or did they do it all?
Me? Or who did it all, or what? The commercial, or?
Yeah, like who wrote it?
So that's mostly Justin, but I help bounce ideas off of them. So yeah, we have a guy, Justin, does all our YouTube. He's like full-time YouTuber for a store, and he just does a fantastic job. So, yeah.
Oh, it was
That
fantastic.
commercial was adorable. I'm waiting anxiously for mine to come in the mail. They're on their way.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And
Thank
every
you so
time
much,
you
guys.
said, "Get your Erickson's Brothers
Signature
collectible
series.
signature
Signature
series buildable gnome today." Every
Signature
time you
series.
so impressed.
Oh man. Yeah, those are doing really well. Actually, we're really happy about that. So.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Mhm.
'Cause
Sorry,
they-
guys. This bag blew up on the floor, so I just had to clean it up. I'm back from present now.
Yep.
Whew.
We might make a Dracula minifigure and put Dracula figure and put him for sale. Maybe I'll ask somebody see if they want to do that because it's expensive to make the sets. But yeah, we'll see.
I was just reading any comments. Any last minute questions from the chat, please get them in because we are at that 1.5 hour mark, which is typical MCU duration, which is what we shoot for, but we can go a little over. We just don't want to go full Chris Nolan or, heaven forbid, Lord of the Rings Extended Edition.
Are MCU movies really only an hour and a half?
Most popcorn action films are always an hour and a half,
No,
90 minutes.
Be longer than that.
No, they keep them that way because it's just enough time to tell the story and get all the action in, but also they can pack more showings into an evening. They can get one extra showing in the evening, and that way they make the more ticket sales and revenue by getting that little bit of extra time out of it. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Any other non-things that are going on in your life that you just wanted to talk about randomly?
I'm still just like blown away by this thing. Like
that is clever.
Tell you what I do is I always have every time I find a cryptic connection like those, like a just bizarre, it shouldn't have worked, but it did. I always bind it and I leave it together and I put it in my special parts box in the corner.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So whenever I'm building, I'll come across this, like I look at this and I'm like, what is the? Oh yeah, I put that together. That's a weird connection. And then I go, well, maybe it's time to use it or not.
Better go put that back together then.
Yeah, I was gonna say leave that one together, and then what you do is you can have it on your desk and it'll annoy you, and you'll be thinking about it, right, and how to use it somewhere.
Inspiration.
What are you doing?
He's dramatically placing it somewhere.
Very dramatic.
There we go. Very dramatic.
Philip's on a roll tonight.
Oh yeah, Philip's feeling
You're on
good.
fire, dude.
Speaking of fire.
Yeah, we've got it back there.
There you go.
This is our...
Okay, so I guess now that you have us featured, right here.
Oh, turn on the light.
Do you want to talk about it? Here, let me turn the light on.
You got that
the case lighting's not in yet because Maria just finished.
Yes, please.
We've had
talk
this
about that
for a super long time. I finally just put it together today. So we have our new like living room setup in our basement for our lives. But so up here on the top, should I just take it out? We've got our
Careful now.
Only if you want to risk it.
Yeah, you should maybe.
No,
you're
no
okay.
I mean, you can just talk to me. We know.
Well, anyway,
we can see it, Maria. It's okay. Just tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Anyway, up there you can see on the top is a box, and it's a Creator 3-in-1 set. And we got that set when we got 2 set in Atlanta, and that one is signed by all 24 of the Lego Masters cast members. And then we actually, through a sort of mistake of circumstances, we have 2 sets. So we built one. So we've got one built up here, and then we've got the box, which is unopened. And then actually right there sitting on top of the box is the Cabaret Girl. Now this particular Cabaret Girl,
oh God,
she's missing
she doesn't have her hat because
it's in our build. So
it's in our build. So she's just wearing a blonde ponytail. But yeah, we do have a Cabaret Girl on display.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Jen. I think it was Jen's idea. She's the one that had the first set to sign. So I think a lot of us ordered sets or various things.
Yes. I remember that.
I was fangirling hard.
You had the bag.
Off my box.
Yep.
Yeah, Moto had something too. He had planned.
I will give you an update since you brought it up.
Yes,
look at that.
I was the first person that had the idea for the cast to sign something, and I had the presence to bring a Lego Master swag bag, which is the perfect idea, I think. So I got all the signatures. Now, what's even better
I'm so excited
is season 1 is starting to fill in.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
I see Crystal.
Yep.
Crystal.
See Flynn.
And Flynn and Richard both. And in the chat is Mark Krushank and Boone Langston.
Nice.
Awesome.
Moto, I'm so sorry you didn't go to Brick Fair because we saw like half the cast.
You had like a million.
And you probably missed out on your last opportunity to see Aaron because he's going to Denmark. So he's not there already.
Well, I have a plan. My evil plan.
Oh, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in.
My evil plan is someday to have a reason to go to Scareback, and then Aaron can be there because all the designers tend to show up for Scareback. That's the only way I'll probably nab him.
Well, I feel like we sort of got an unofficial invitation to go see the Brick Pit at the Lego HQ, didn't we?
Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna float it on this stream. And it's going to be a little while because everything's still kind of crazy in the world right now. But
sorry, Jack, can you mute? There's a touch of feedback there.
Oh, wait, so it's muted.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack. You're true.
But I'm thinking that we all need to make a significant effort in a couple of years or a year or two to make it to Scareback, and then into the Lego house and everything. and maybe even sneak into Lego headquarters
Ooh.
sometime down the road as a cast, as a season 2 cast.
Well, you know, if you're gonna go in the HQ, you know they have security, right?
Yeah, but like if there's enough of us,
we
We'll
know
rush
the
them.
girl.
We know a lot of them there, right?
We know a couple
Isaac.
other employees.
like
like
you
4
can
people
literally
there.
just go to the door and be like,
Hey guys.
hey, you may remember us.
I'm here to see Amy and Jamie,
Yeah.
and Isaac and Aaron.
And then they're gonna bring out a
"Oh,
contract in
okay, I don't
Danish that's
remember
this
you,"
thick
but
that
no.
you have to abide by for a full year. And it's just gonna have layers of NDA in it. But fine, I'd sign it. I don't care.
Let's do it.
I
So,
would.
if we all made it, that'd be the most Americans ever at Scareback. I know from experience. So.
I'm thinking it's gonna happen. We'll start putting our
Isn't
pennies.
it
We'll
like
start rubbing our pennies
isn't
together.
it really super hard to get into Scareback though?
Mark's been there, so he would know.
I mean, it's very difficult to get in. The only way that I know that's the easiest way is to piggyback it off being an artist in the Lego gallery. But that's like, you know, that level of achievement is like, good luck.
Man.
Maybe they'll have us as special guests. So instead of attendees, we're like doing a presentation or something. That's it. We all have to do a part of a build that all 24 of us puts together and makes one giant build.
There are so many Lego Masters now. I don't have any hope for that.
Okay, this is something we can answer on our closing answer. So, who is going to Brickworld Chicago in 2022? So, everybody, you better raise your hands because you promised. We all promised that.
Not Michelle.
I know.
Jack, will you be there?
Raise it because.
Hey, it's again. Yeah.
Woo!
Jack again. All right.
Yeah. So, as far as we could commit to all practical reasons, all of us committed that we would go to Brickworld Chicago as season 2. That would be our rally point to have a reunion.
It's really our only opportunity if you think about it. Like that's the big one.
And center of the country and
in like
guess what? It'll be us and Monica Berry. There'll be 25 people at Brickworld Chicago.
And it's gonna be a party, man. That reunion's gonna be quite the party.
There's a really good chance that there may be some Lego Masters from not the US shows that will be there too. Just saying,
right,
like it depends on travel rules and everything from the countries, but
we know
if we can. Plus,
we know at least one guy.
We know one like.
We know a guy. Hey, we know a guy from overseas.
Just one. Before being on Lego Masters.
I'll take him if we can get him. And then season 1, they tend to show up there too.
Yep.
Well, and he's come to Brickworld Chicago before.
Jonas? Oh
yeah. Jonas has come to Brickworld Chicago.
Oh yeah,
There's
Jonas.
a good chance that he could come again.
And not only that, but some Lego designers show up sometimes, things like that. So
Lego house individuals.
I want to see Will Arnett go to Brickworld. Can someone please make that happen?
That'd be lit.
Even if he's only there for an hour.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
He's Lego Batman. He's one of the most prestigious Lego people ever.
I'm thinking like we need to get like Andreas and
somebody
important. And Ronnie.
And Raph.
Some of the production guys there.
Ronnie,
oh my god, that'd be magic.
But Raph might actually be there if they're doing recruiting.
That's true. If they are doing recruiting, he will be there. So
that would be madness.
Get Ken there. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Ken again. I'd love for Ken to be there.
Oh yeah,
Ken. Once he can.
All right, with that note, thank you guys. I always
wonder. Here, Moto. There's one more question.
Okay, where is it?
Directed right at me. Since I do Lego full time and I quit being a nurse, are there any future any future projects that I can tease? Yes, I'm going to say this one because I've said it in an interview before, so I can go ahead and mention this. When I was building Wonder Woman, I wanted to take it to FanX, and to tease it to the showrunners. I put her leg. I had only built her one leg so far on his desk. I snuck in at night. I put it on his desk, and then I put a lampshade on it. And so it was this big leg lamp when he got to work the next day. And that's how I announced that I was bringing Wonder Woman to FanX for their show. And I'm redoing that, and I'm going to wire it, and I'm actually making a lamp. So Wonder Woman leg lamp, it's coming.
There you go.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not doing any nursing?
Nope, I'm not a nurse right now. I'm still certified, but I'm not in the hospital setting right now.
Okay.
Lego, baby.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Full time. I didn't know that. That's cool.
I know.
Dang.
Nice.
Congrats, you switched over.
Yeah.
Thanks. I get to hang out with my son all the time now. It's better schedule.
Oh, I bet. Oh, hello, doggo.
Yeah, we have a guest star.
Let's do a furry send off since you've been the spicy.
Oh,
one
hello.
tonight.
There's someone else. There's a fourth member there.
Oh, wait.
What's up, man?
A photo Bob.
He's in bed. That's why he's got his blankie.
We can see you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oliver.
He's
Oliver,
sneaking in the corner.
Oliver.
Yeah, he wants to go outside. We let him outside, man. Go let him outside.
Yeah.
Well, from all of us to all of you, thank you so much for hanging out. I always wonder how we're going to fill 90 minutes. I'm always sweating at the last minute to see if anybody will join. And here we have a whole family that's coming off all of these episodes, over and over and over. So we are getting down to the final few episodes. So as long as they're there and we're watching them, Maria, silent style.
All right, my children are yelling in the background.
That's cool.
2 left.
Yeah, 2 left. 2 left. And yeah, 2 more Tuesdays, 2 more taco. They should be Taco Tuesday. We also come up with some Lego related term.
Technic
Tuesday.
Oh God, no. Maria,
They had Taco Tuesday in the first Lego movie, so
that's true. They had Taco Tuesday.
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah,
and Freedom Friday,
but still on a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But everybody start waving bye. I'm going to click end broadcast. It always takes like forever for some reason for StreamYard to finally